Alright, so let's play the hardest first room challenge in all of Black Ops 3, shall we? I've actually got a really long history with the Shadows of Evil first room when a couple of years ago, everybody and their mother was really trying to get the world record on this. A lot of high round YouTubers were really just pushing this record up and up. It seemed like almost every week, guys like Hey I'm Alex, I'm Overcharged, Pro Genesis, and a bunch of other players, including me, really got in on the fun. And even though I never got the world record, or never even really got all that close to it, I still actually got to, I think it was round 27. I was playing this pretty much every day on stream for hours and hours and hours, and it almost became a running joke that, oh god, look, Luke's playing Shadows of Evil again, how original. But for those who don't know, the Shadows of Evil first room is really difficult because there's no perks other than Quick Revive, and the only way to get guns that aren't the RK5 or the Shiva is to use that little pod right there, like that, to get the Locust. This was the first time of me actually trying this challenge, and getting the Locust that quickly is so incredibly lucky. I actually did more attempts at this later and did over 50 resets and didn't get the Locust again. So first try on legitimately my first attempt is absolutely insane. But it is kind of crazy that Shadows of Evil is 7 years old now. It feels almost like time froze a little bit once Black Ops 3 came out, and I think a lot of people just forget how old this map and this game in general actually is, because yeah, 7 years old, and I think it's time for a remaster, honestly. Because I know that sounds crazy, right? But if you actually think about it, Origins was less than 4 years old when it got remastered for Zombies Chronicles. The original came out in August or September of 2013, and then Zombies Chronicles came out in May of 2017. That also makes maps like Der Eisendrache, Zetsubo, Gorod, even Revelations all available for remasters in my mind, so I mean, honestly, why not? And especially with MW2 having a second year of available content, and you know what, I just think it would fit nicely in there, Chronicles 2. It's not gonna happen, and it probably shouldn't, but you know, hey, it's possible. Still, going back to how old this game is, it's absolutely insane that it's 7 years old. I remember being a junior in high school when Black Ops 3 came out, and I would just come home every single day from school and just grind Shadows for levels. Should I have a social life? No. Is there friends in my life? No. Do I get a girlfriend? Also no. Trying to become the first Master Prestige on Black Ops 3? Yes. This is something I don't actually talk about all that often, but I was one of the first people to hit Master Prestige in Black Ops 3, or at least on Xbox at the time, because I remember actually looking at all of the leaderboards to see, like, in the kills category who was the highest level, and looking through all the other leaderboards, because I was really high up on all of them, and I remember when I hit it, there was maybe only 10 to 15 other people, so I thought that was really cool, and I actually did chronicle it in this really old series of videos where, like, after every single prestige, I would make a video for some reason acting like anybody cared, and there wasn't any difference between the prestiges, it was just the icons. Still, I thought it was really fun at the time, and that's, you know, it's a little bit of cool history for me, because I didn't really take YouTube super seriously during Black Ops 3, I was still in high school, obviously, and I didn't even think I made thumbnails at the time, honestly. It's kind of crazy, because I started YouTube when Origins came out, and it's really weird that we talk about Origins as well, but I've been making videos since then, but I never really took it all that seriously until I think 2016, around when Zombies in Spaceland came out. I started to make more videos, and even through Black Ops 4 I was a bit casual, so I've only been doing it for a couple of years super seriously. It's still nice to have all those memories cataloged on YouTube though, even if I don't really go back and watch them, because a lot of them are mega cringe. When you've made like 700 videos and you've pretty much grown up on YouTube, you make some cringe in your time. Like, there's this series of camping vlogs that I did, and it just makes me want to absolutely just pull my brains out, and it's just, oh, why the fuck did anyone care? No one gives a shit that you walked away for a few days and went camping with your family when you're 16, Luke. Those are private, by the way, you're not going to be able to find those. But yeah, it's still super funny. Going back to how old Shadows of Evil and stuff is, would you guys really actually even want to see remasters in whatever Treyarch does next? Because they've got 3 years, and I think it would be a somewhat reasonable expectation that with all of this time, I think that we could have 2 launch Zombies maps. I don't really want to sound ungrateful for only getting 1, but I think that just with the extra time, it would be really nice to have a second one. Maybe a, let's say, original first one of some kind, maybe finally get our Atlantis map, and then some kind of remaster, even if it's a small one. Especially because, let's be honest here, the Zombies community absolutely runs through content. No matter how many maps Treyarch gives us, we will always just absolutely obliterate every bit of content within the first week, so I think maybe something small as a second map would be nice, like a let's say another version of the Giant. I definitely don't want another Darius remaster, but something along those lines, a small enough map that they could just give a graphical update to and would fit well enough with the systems that they're going to have in place, and I feel like the game's probably going to be somewhat along the lines of Cold War again, so something that would fit into that. Or hey, you know what, Activision, if you guys want to just start actually giving us money again and being able to make crazy over-the-top zombies maps again, I wouldn't be opposed to getting more chaos maps, just saying, guys. Oh, so if you're wondering what's going on in the background, right, there's a very specific way to actually play the Shadows of Evil First Room, and I kind of wasn't all that warmed up to it originally. I died on round 8 in the first game, and then this is the second one. So the Margwa actually spawns in firstly on round 8, and usually the strategy of what you're supposed to do with this Margwa is you're supposed to leave him for most of the round and then use grenades to try to leave a crawler and then get rid of him by just running around in the first room as long as you can and just doing a little bit of chip damage to each of the heads. Sometimes that works out really well, sometimes that really fucking doesn't, I'll say it that way. Because most of the downs that you do actually get in this first room are the Margwa, because it's a really narrow first room, and the Margwa especially being able to slam kill you is just the worst thing imaginable. And with me being 24 years old now, my reaction times are getting a little bit slow. I feel like such a boomer when I say that though. I'm 24, technically I'm in the prime of my life, but in terms of gaming, your reaction time starts to slow when you're like 20 to 21 years old. And with me having more in my life going on than just zombies like I did in high school, I don't have as much of an opportunity to play, and I don't really take it as seriously as I used to. I actually used to really be in like sniping clans. I was in a world record high round clan for a little while. Just all the most over-the-top cringe things you could actually imagine. Fun fact, actually, I was the first person, and I think only person ever, to hit a quad collateral with the FAL assault rifle in Black Ops 2. Yeah, I don't know how I did it. It was on hardcore. I was playing something like Nuketown, and I just remember aiming down and killing 3 people with 1 shot. It's super weird, and you have to slow down the clip a lot to actually see it because I fired a bunch of bullets, but if you do slow it down, it's actually there. That's when I was in pure sniping, which it's really weird. A lot of people from that team actually ended up in FaZe Clan. A lot of them ended up in Red. If you remember Red, it was kind of their little sister clan, but I don't know, I never ended up doing, probably because I don't really like scamming kids all that much. But yeah, I really used to take all that stuff super seriously, and I used to be a mega tryhard on multiplayer and on zombies. I would try to set world records and everything like that, but nowadays I just like entertaining you guys more so than anything else. And definitely because of that, my zombie skill has absolutely slipped. As you can see in the DS video and right here, I just suck at zombies these days. If 16, 17-year-old me was looking at this footage, I'd be like, God damn, this dude old as hell. And it's also really weird because a lot of you guys are probably still in high school. You're probably 16, 17 years old. I know that there's a certain amount of people that watch me that are adults, and those are the people that probably just listen to these and they don't comment or anything like that, but where are you guys in life? Do you have a job? Are you in high school, college, whatever? There's definitely going to be somebody saying, I am 87 years old. And no, you're fucking not. And I know the YouTube tells me what the actual analytics are, but let's be real. A lot of us probably made a YouTube channel before we were, 13 years old is the minimum, and then just set our age to being 150 years old. And this is a really completely random thought that I just actually had, but I was thinking about Black Ops 3 and how much of my life has actually changed since Black Ops 3 has come out. Because I grew up in New Jersey in the United States, right? And I lived with my parents until I was an adult. You know, I was going to college a little bit, stuff like that. But then through the zombies community, actually, I met the woman who would become my fiance, and I moved to Scotland. A lot of people actually don't know I live in Scotland, but I've been here for the last 3 years. It's not something I mention a ton on YouTube just because it never honestly comes up in terms of zombies gameplay. But yeah, there you go. If you've ever wondered why I'm in Scotland, it's because my fiance is Scottish, and she actually does some zombie stuff. I'll probably pop her stuff up there. She does zombies, not so much these days anymore. She's just more or less a, she just sort of says whatever she wants. She has a Twitter account. She streams on Twitch once in a while. She doesn't really do YouTube videos, but she might as well eventually. And weirdly enough, I even named my cat Misty. Yeah, it's actually Misty in Black Ops 2. Like, I actually named her after that because originally we thought we were going to pick up a boy cat and we were going to name the kitty Tank because I thought, hey, a tiny little kitty named Tank would be super funny. But then we showed up to the house and it turned out to be a girl, and we were like, oh, that doesn't really make sense, so we kind of just went with Misty, and Yeah, zombies has been a really important part of my life, and I don't really ever mention it all that much, mostly because I'm stuttering a lot of the time. Like, I do stupid shit with the War Machine, I play DS Zombies. I don't really ever just sit down and play zombies and enjoy myself all the time. But yeah, there you go, now you know a little bit about me. The Luke lore has now been built a little bit, because, yeah, I really don't talk about myself on YouTube. It's not something I ever take the time to do, because why the fuck do any of you care? And speaking of going back to the gameplay, fuck you, Margwa! Yeah, we actually did it. We only took one down to the Margwa this time. And seriously, the Margwa is the worst thing in the Shadows of Evil first room. You have no idea. If you've ever actually, like, not attempted this before, go play the Shadows of Evil first room. It's really quite easy for the first, like, 9 to 10 rounds. Even the first Margwa really isn't actually all that bad. But then you get to round 11, 12, where you can't just mow down every zombie, even with the Locust, like I just got right there, absolutely poggers. But yeah, you can't just mow down zombies anymore, and you need to train in this tiny area, and it's just really, really difficult, actually. There's a reason that a lot of the Black Ops 3 original maps, the world record goes, let's say Zetsubo no Shima around 180, Gorod Krovi around 100 and something probably, Revelations I think has a 255 in the first room, Shadows of Evil 42. I think it's 42. I actually don't know what the world record is for this anymore, because the last time that I even remotely attempted it, it was like 36 or something like that, and everyone thought that that was this mega poggers moment that no one was ever going to be able to beat. But because it's a zombies community, the world record always gets beaten. It actually blows my mind that people spend so much time doing those games. I mean, there was someone who played like 300 hours of Nocturne Toten. There's all kinds of crazy records out there, and I just can't fucking believe it. Oh, I remember this, by the way. Fuck the meatballs. Seriously, the meatballs are part of the, they're the second worst thing in this first room, because they take forever to kill, and for some reason when they come down, they have a little bit of invincibility. There's just this weird thing where they create a barrier, and they can kill you in 2 shots. They're the absolute worst things ever. I seriously hate the meatballs. I hate them in regular Shadows of Evil, even when I have perks, but doing it in the first room, no, I hate them even more. Overall though, in this game, I thought I did pretty well, to be honest, with, I think we have 2 downs so far in this footage, yeah, because we still have the 1 quick revive, and we're on round 16, so we're doing pretty good. Or at least we were, until there's actually a little barrier right there. You can see the zombie just pushing up against it. I didn't know that that was there. Why is there this tiny little barrier that cuts you off there? And that's what got me killed. Seriously, you'll see right here with me going into beast mode, you can't get past that. I'm sprinting into it. Why is that there? Out of all the things that ever got fixed in Shadows of Evil, that's something that no one ever noticed enough to actually do. It might be a little bit of a clipping issue with the stairs when they open up, I'm not sure, but still, that's so painful that a tiny little corner like that never got fixed messed me up. And then right here, the game actually ends because I took a second smack from a zombie, and then the bug just absolutely snipes my shit. But there is a better game. I'll show you guys that real quick. So let's skip to some of the good stuff. You guys have already seen the low rounds. That stuff doesn't even matter anymore. So in this game, I actually had to mod in my Locust because I did about 50 restarts to get the Locust, and I just couldn't get it out of any of the pods that I did. So I just looked up the console commands and gave myself the regular Locust that I usually use. Sorry about that. I just wanted to get another game going because I was so frustrated by this. I actually know that I'm quite good at the Shadows of Evil first room, and I was like, oh, why can't I even get past round 16? That was so frustrating. But in this game, I'm actually getting pretty decent luck so far. I've got an insta-kill to start off round 13, I had a max ammo to end out the last round. Things are actually going pretty good, and I was feeling myself. I don't think another Margwa actually spawns in until round 15. It could be 14. I don't actually remember in this footage where it is, but the next Margwa is going to be such a huge pain in the ass, but not as big of a pain in the ass as that. I have no idea how I messed that up. And don't you laugh at me, everybody has downs like that once in a while. You know you do, don't lie to me. But you know what, at least I've got at least 1 more quick revive. I think I actually have 2. That might have been my first down in the game actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And there's the Margwa. He has come to claim my butthole as his prize. Seriously, I can't get over how much I fucking hate the Margwa in general. I guess I'm just not a big fan of mid-round bosses in zombies flat out. I don't like any of them. I will admit that's a skill issue, and this down was painful because I really like doing the cutback over here, and it's also really necessary in order to do high rounds in this first room, but I just wasn't able to do it for a little while, to be honest with you. I kept just messing that up in every game that I was playing. Oh, if you're wondering why I keep escaping into the beast mode, it's because all the zombies go into this little corner right here, and then when you leave it, you can actually just lay down a bunch of grenades to kill an entire horde. It's super effective, and I really love that strategy actually. It's one of my favorite ones in all of zombies. It stinks that you can only do it once around, but I guess if you were able to do it more like, let's say, the Mob of the Dead strategies where you have 3 of the afterlives, I think it would be really overpowered if you had all that, so I guess one's balanced, but I still wanted to be really OP. There's a good thing here though, because I was actually only able to leave one zombie, which was a crawler, because that last horde that I killed with all the grenades was the last horde of the round, meaning that I can just take out the Margwa without too many issues. He's still really dangerous because he can always slam like that, and then when you go past him again, he could just slam again. But this is obviously best case scenario that you can really have with the Margwa, because there's some times where you're just doing it with a full horde and there's just nothing you can do other than just pray. And I've left the pods going for a while since obviously I didn't need to use it this game. And what do we get out of the purple one? The Man of War. You know what? I was really hesitant on whether to get it or not because it's a lot heavier than the RK5 and it makes you move around slower. But also the Man of War is absolutely poggers. I don't know why I say poggers all the time. I do it in real life as well. People probably cringe at me, but the Man of War is actually really good. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. Maybe it'll be good for some of the train hoarding. Well, you know what? Here we are. We're tied for the best round that we've had so far on the Shadows of Evil first room. And right away, we actually get a death machine, which is amazing. Seriously, the death machine is pretty much the best thing that you can get because 30 seconds of being able to just mow down zombies in a super close quarter setting is baller as hell. You're usually able to take out most of a round of zombies if you don't just grab it right away and you give them a few seconds to actually spawn in, because granted that there's not a lot of places for the zombies to come in, but the respawn timer is still a little bit slower than you would expect. Woo, round 17, let's fucking go, baby! Yeah, so round 17 didn't go the way that I thought it would. Right away I needed to go into beast mode, and now the Locust isn't even one-shotting to the chest, meaning that I have to hit pretty much every single headshot in order to not die. The Man of War is still alright, but yeah, the bug kind of sniped me, and this all really went downhill very quickly. I got back up, and I was going to go and get my death machine, but I guess that didn't really happen because I got stuck on a corner. Well, you know what, it is what it is. If you guys like this new style of video, leave a like, and now go watch this video from yesterday about me playing the worst version of zombies on the Nintendo DS.